I welcome all of you once again to my class. My name is Jewel and today I am going to take the 5th lesson of Standard 4. I am dealing with the ICSE syllabus Cordova Publications. Please like, share and please subscribe to my channel if you like to hear my further chapters from this textbook. Now let's go to the lesson Clever Betty. The story is about Clever Betty, a poor farmer's wife who makes life better for her family by using her intelligence. So the story is about Betty, who is a poor farmer's wife. Now read how Betty fetches a sumptuous meal for her family. Sumptuous means very expensive meal, and some farming skill for her husband by using her clever ideas. The characters: narrator 1 John, narrator 2 Betty, narrator 3 Baron and narrator 4 Jack. Narrator 1: there was a time in this country where most people made their living through farming. Some farmers did well, some barely scratched out a living. So there was a time where most people made their living by farming, but some farmers did well, but some barely scratched out a living, means they made only enough money. John: I was one of the farmers who had a hard time feeding his family. My name is John Carver. It has been many years since we lived, but my friends and I would like to tell you a story. So John is telling that I was one of the farmers who had a very hard time feeding the family, and John and his friends is going to tell you a story. Narrator 2: John's farm was quite small, and though he toiled in the fields every day, his crops were always brown and scrawny. Toiled means worked hard. So John is telling that his farm is very small and every day used to work hard every day in the fields, but his crops were always brown and scrawny. Scrawny means very thin. Can you think of a reason for John's crops being brown and scrawny? Narrator 3: it just so happened that John was married to Betty, and Betty was a mighty clever lady. So John got married to Betty and she was a very clever lady. Betty: my husband was not a very good farmer, but he loved his work. So I decided that as long as he was happy, I would make sure we had enough to eat. So Betty is telling that about her husband, that my husband is not a very good farmer, but he liked his work. So he decided to keep her to be happy, as long as I would make sure we had enough to eat. Narrator 4: one winter day, when the wind blew very cold and the snow drifted very high, Betty sent John to the chicken coop to fetch dinner. So it was a winter day. The wind was blowing very cold and the snow drifted. Drifted means blew away very high. And Betty sent John to the chicken coop. Betty told John to go to the chicken coop. Coop means the cage for chickens, to fetch dinner. John: this is the last chicken we have, Betty. I don't know what we will eat tomorrow, so roast it with care. So what did John say? Betty, this is the last chicken we have. Now what we will do tomorrow? So roast it with care. Narrator 1: when the chicken was cooked, Betty set it on the table. Now the chicken was cooked and Betty kept it on the table. John: what a grand chicken you have prepared. It looks so brown and crispy. So John is telling the chicken looked very brown and crispy and it smells delicious. It is a shame that we do not have even a crust of bread to go with it. Crust means the outer surface of the bread is called crust. So it is a shame, but they did not have even a crust of bread to eat with the chicken. Oh well, we cannot dwell on, we cannot to think what we do not have. Let us call in the children and eat. So they are going to call the children to eat. So Betty: do not call the children. I am going to take this chicken to the Baron, who lives in that magnificent house on the hill. So what did Betty say to John? Don't call the children. I am going to take this chicken to the Baron. Who's a Baron? He is a noble man who lives in that magnificent means attractive house on the hill. John: I do not understand you at all, Betty. Why do you want to give away our last morsel of food? So John is telling Betty, I don't understand you. Why do you want to give away our last morsel? Morsel means that small piece of food. Betty, never you mind. I have an idea. So Betty said, don't mind, I have an idea. What could be the idea that Betty had in her mind? Narrator 2. Betty thought that if she gave the chicken to the Baron, he might give her something ever better in return. So Betty is telling that if she gave the chicken to the Baron, that is that nobleman, and the Baron might give something to Betty as a return. Narrator 3. So she set off for the Baron's house. So now Betty is now in Baron's house. Narrator 4. When she got there, she was shown into the parlor where the Baron sat with his wife, 2 sons and 2 daughters. So when she reached the Baron's house, she was shown to a room into the parlor. Parlor means a room in a house for sitting. So it was that place where his wife and 2 sons and 2 daughters sat. Betty gave the chicken to him. What did Betty do? She gave the chicken to him. Betty, I hope you will accept this gift, sir. It is all I have to give you. But you are welcome to it. So Betty is telling, I hope you accept this gift, sir. I hope you accept. But it is all that I have to give you. You are welcome to it. So the Baron told, welcome. Baron, there is nothing we like better than juicy roasted chicken. So what did Baron say? See, we love juicy roasted chicken. It smells delicious. I would like you to divide it among us so that each getting equal share. So what is the Baron telling Betty? You please divide the chicken among all of us so that everybody will get equal share. Narrator 1. Betty picked up the knife and looked around the room. All eyes were upon her. So she took the knife. Now she is going to divide the chicken. Betty, let me see. There are 6 of you altogether. So there were total 6. Baron, don't forget yourself. You shall share it with us. So the Baron told don't forget about yourself. You shall share it with us. Narrator 1. Dividing one chicken 7 ways so that each person got satisfied was the task given to her. So Betty, let me see. There are 6 of you altogether. Baron, don't forget yourself. You shall share with us. Narrator 1. Dividing one chicken 7 ways so that each person got satisfied is the task set out for Betty. This is the task. Task means to begin the task given to Betty. Narrator 2. The Baron made himself comfortable in his favorite chair as Betty looked at the bird. The first thing she did was cut off the tail and give it to the Baron's wife. So what did Betty do? She cut the tail of the chicken and gave it to Baron's wife. Betty, here ma'am, you shall have the tail because it is your job to sit in the house and see that it is properly run. So Betty gave the tail part of the chicken to the Baron's wife. Understood? So that because it is her job to sit and see that it is properly run. To sit in the house and see that it is properly run. Narrator 3. Then she pulled off the 2 legs of the chicken and handed one to the Baron's sons. Then what did Betty do? She pulled off the 2 legs of the chicken and handed over to the Baron's sons. One of the Baron's sons. Betty, because you fine, strong boys, I know, love to walk your father's field every day. It is fitting for you to have the legs. So Betty is telling that I know, love to walk your father's field every day. It is fitting for you to have the legs. So Betty gave the legs to the boys. Narrator 4. Betty then gave a wing to each of the Baron's daughters. And what did Betty give? She gave the wings to Baron's daughters. Betty, you lovely children, you lovely girls, get the wings because each of you, I know, love to travel to distant places. So Betty, what did Betty say? You lovely girls, get the wings. So Betty gave the wings to the girls, telling that I know you love to travel to distant places. Narrator 1. Finally, Betty cut off the head of the chicken. Now Betty cut the head of the chicken. Betty, there can be no question that this is the right part of you, sir, because you are the head of the house. So Betty gave the head part of the chicken to the Baron because the Baron is the head of the house. And since I am just a poor farmer's wife, I will be happy with the leftovers. So Betty said that since I am a poor farmer's wife, I will be happy with the leftovers. Leftovers means food that has not been eaten at the end of the meal is called leftovers. Now, do you think Betty will get what she had thought she would? Narrator 1. Of course, that meant Betty got most of the chicken. Narrator 2. Wasn't she clever? Narrator 3. The Baron laughed heartily. Heartily means with enjoyment. Baron. Bless my soul, you are a clever one, Betty. I have never enjoyed myself so much. I want you to take this jug of nectar and this loaf of bread along with the chicken. I hope our paths will cross again someday. So what did Baron do? Baron is saying that Betty, you are very clever. I hope I have never enjoyed myself so much. I want you to take this jug of nectar. Nectar means the thick juice of fruit, and this loaf of bread along with the chicken. And the Baron gave her a loaf of bread with the chicken. I hope our paths will cross again someday. Narrator 4. Betty took the food back home. Now Betty took the food back home. That night she and the family ate until they were full. And that night the family ate full. John, the next day I was in town and told some other farmers what Betty had done. So John is saying that when John was in town and he told his other farmers what Betty had done. One of those farmers was Jack Green. So Jack Green is John's friend. He is one of the farmers. Jack was a greedy man and always looking for a way to get the best of a deal. So what kind of man was this Jack Green? He was a greedy man and he was always looking for a way to get the best of a deal. Narrator 2. Jack saw no reason why he couldn't do what Betty had done. So he went home and roasted 5 fat geese. Then he took them to the Baron. So what did Jack do? Jack went home and he roasted 5 fat geese. And he took that geese to the Baron. He took them to the Baron. Jack, here sir. Now Jack is now in Baron's house. And Jack is telling, here sir, I would like you to have these 5 fine geese. Baron, I thank you, farmer. If you don't mind, I would like you to divide the geese between my family and yourself. So each of us gets a fair share. So what did the Baron tell Jack? You please divide the geese between my family and yourself, so that each of us will get equal share. Narrator 3. Jack took so Jack is going to divide the geese. So Jack took his knife, but just as he started to make a cut, he stopped. Suddenly he stopped and scratched his head. Jack, no, that won't work. Let's see. Maybe it would be better if I cut here. No, that won't work either. So Jack is having confusion what to do. So first he thought if I cut here it would be better. But no, that will not work either. Narrator 4. Jack thought and thought. He stood on one foot and then the other. But he could not think of a way to divide the 5 geese fairly between the 7 people. So Jack did not know how to cut the geese. First he stood on one foot, then on the other. But he could not divide the 5 geese fairly between the 7 people. He could not divide between the 7 people equally. Now narrator 1. Finally, the baron grew tired of waiting. Finally, the baron, because Jack could not divide the geese at last, the baron became very tired of waiting. Baron, send for Betty. She will know what to do. So what did Baron tell? Go and call Betty. She will know how to divide the geese. Narrator 2. When Betty arrived, the Baron said, Baron, here is the problem. So Baron said to Betty, here is the problem. We have 5 geese to be divided fairly between me, my wife, my 2 sons, my 2 daughters and you. Can you do it? So Baron is asking, Betty, can you do it? So what did Betty say? Why, certainly, sir. Here is a goose for you and your wife. Now you and your wife and the goose are 3. And here is a goose for your daughters and 1 for your sons. Now they are 3. If I take the 2 remaining geese, then I am 3 also. You see, it is really very simple. Narrator 3. The Baron roared with laughter. Roared means laughed very loudly. When he stopped, he turned to Jack and said, Baron, do not come back to my house until you are as clever as Betty. So what did the Baron tell to Jack? Don't come to my house until you become clever like Betty. And since I do not think that you will ever be, I bid you a final farewell. So what did Baron tell to Jack? I know that you will never become like Betty, so I am going to bid you a final farewell. Narrator 4. The Baron was so pleased with Betty, he rewarded her with 3 gold coins and promised to teach John how to be a better farmer, so the family would never go hungry again. So what happened? The Baron was so pleased with Betty that he rewarded her with 3 gold coins and promised to teach John. And he promised to teach John how to become a better farmer so that their family will never go hungry. John. The Baron kept his promise, and slowly but surely I became a good farmer. Now at last John became a good farmer. My crops grew high and my family grew strong, all because of Betty. So what is John saying about Betty? My crops grew high, my family became very strong. It is all because of Betty. Do you agree with John? All clever Betty. Based on the story Clever Lucy by Deidre. The moral of the lesson is, a wise person can easily turn a difficult situation in his or her favor. I hope you all understood this lesson. You please read this lesson. Now please share this with your friends and relatives, and please subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay children, let's meet in the next class. Until then, bye.